Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. It's Friday, which means, as always, a new obscurity in literature. Today we have something actually somewhat recently released, not like the newest, but relatively new. And that is Wonder Woman Dead Earth by Daniel Warren Johnson, along with Mike Spicer doing colors. So, Johnson's stuff I'm pretty familiar with. I've read Extremity. I'm familiar with Space Mullet and his one, what was it, like Murder Chicken or something like that. That one I haven't gotten around to yet. And one of these days we'll do some of his other books. I really dig his stuff. Very fantastical, very just interesting and different. And just looking at the cover alone, you can see we're going places with this book. And I mean, it's no surprise, it's no secret that I really dig post-apocalyptic stories, along with fish out of water types. Murder Falcon, not chicken, Murder Falcon. I knew it had murder in the title. Anyway, so that's what we are dealing with today. We've got a post-apocalyptic Wonder Woman, obviously with Batman's belt there, and she is going through the wasteland fighting giant monsters. What could go wrong? Nothing. Now, the first thing I gotta say before I even open the book is I dig the format. It feels more like almost the same size as one of the French, tome type ones. Nice textured cover. It's got a wraparound thing, but there's the same art here, minus all of the Wonder Woman paraphernalia on the cover. And I'll admit, this is the first Wonder Woman book I've bought in, well, forever, I think. I've never had an issue, but I never was super interested in it. But I really do dig Daniel Warren Johnson's art. And for whatever reason, this book in particular really struck me, and it really reminded me of like a Paul Pope book. And I have no idea why. I don't know if it's just the kineticism, and it's very kinetic looking. There's a amazing sense of action and movement and dynamicism in all of the various panels. And again, I really feel like the comparison with the French works is justified. It just, the panels ooze detail and character. And this is the kind of book that I think really does appreciate and benefit from having that big, oversized deluxe treatment. And the colors. I'm not usually one that's really into the colors, but I love the colors in this book. They really complement. The fluorescence, the pinks, the yellows, the oranges everywhere. And as we said, it's not the most sedate of books. We're not, biffing and zocking and powing our way through this. Wonder Woman is busy and gets the job done and goes full-on barbarian mode, which is always fun. You guys know I dig my barbarians. So, yeah, we have the typical post-apocalyptic scenery with, as I said, Wonder Woman fighting giant monsters as all of the hapless humans fight. Well, they attempt to fight on. But again, just gorgeously drawn, beautifully colored, and then there's some interesting characters that start to show up as well that have gotten a bit mutated since the last time we saw them. And the story definitely goes places. We've got the caravan leading the people to their new homes. Of course, it's not always that easy. And I want to say, yeah, there's the big giant monsters, and I mean literally giant monsters. And thankfully, the story does get into where these monsters come from and what's going on there, and I don't want to spoil too much about what's going on. But like I said, we definitely are going places as the story progresses, so can't go wrong with giant splash pages. All is explained as the story progresses. Always a good excuse to draw giant monsters. So we get to the fortress. It strikes me as something like from Day of the Dead. Fortunately, we got a bit of a print error there, but Superman getting the crap kicked out of him. It all makes sense. I'm trying not to spoil too much, but again, things happen. We have our final stand type moment. As the armies of monsters attack humanity's last bastion of hope. I don't want to spoil too much, but things happen. Diana gets some interesting weapons as the story progresses. There's heroic sacrifices, as always. And it actually does end on a positive note, which I'm not going to spoil for you. In the back of the book, we do have all of the covers, and they all make sense and are all quite poignant to the story. Then a little bit of sketch work from the author in the back here. If you've never had a chance to check out any of Daniel Warren Johnson's stuff, I strongly recommend it. Some pretty wild and fun stuff, for sure. Actually kind of makes me curious to see if they're going to do any more of these type of books and just let the artists have free reign. Personally, I really enjoy that. I mean, yeah, at this point, I think you've got the whole established canon, but it's always fun to see the authors kind of go off and do their own thing. I was always a big fan of the old Elseworlds books, so to me, this felt kind of like in a similar vein. And if they want to keep putting them out in this nice, deluxe format, hey, I'm all for it. Funny thing, though, after reading this, it really reminded me of Image's Glory reboot. I mean, I know Glory was basically a wholesale ripoff of Wonder Woman in the first place when it was first created, but that's another story. We'll have to get into Glory another time. But it did strike me similar in the kind of story that they were telling. It wasn't as post-apocalyptic. Obviously, there's no turning back type story, but, really gotta say, a lot of fun, and I am always in the mood for more stuff from the author. So I'll put a link down below. Since it's actually new, you could probably still find this for once rather than have, ridiculous scalpers online trying to charge you $300 like some of the other books I've recommended. And hopefully, if, like I said, you enjoyed it, you should definitely take a look at some of the author's other works. They're pretty fun and pretty out there. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities in Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and hopefully we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.